You met on Craigslist.
I didn't post the ad, and Dan didn't post the ad. Some other kid was looking to front a band. So I answered to be a drummer. Dan answered to play lead guitar. Then this kid wanted to host the first practice at Dan's apartment. The vibes were really fucking weird. We did a really bad cover of Boys of Summer.
Literally sitting on the ground, like crisscross applesauce on the living room floor.
I mean, we hit it off immediately because we were like, okay, we actually seriously want to do this. And I was writing and playing, my own stuff on the side. And so when I met Dan, I was like, oh, this could be actually a really cool, because we had the same influences.
Welcome back to Spin Magazine's Lip Service. I'm with the members of Winona Fighter. How are you guys doing?
Amazing.
Good.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Dan and Chloe?
Yes.
Great to see you.
Good to see you.
We're just chatting best concerts of all time.
Oh, yeah.
And I talked about the fact that Nine Inch Nails is probably my favorite concert, but I just saw Oasis a couple days ago. I feel like you guys have some information regarding Oasis, some feelings regarding Oasis. Did anybody go?
We'll just lock in because this is my turf.
Okay.
Whoa.
Dan's your guy. Dan's your guy.
No, I went to the first night in Toronto, and it was beautiful, gorgeous day. And then just when Live Forever hit, there was this rainstorm that blew in, which just kind of made it a little extra sauce in the air. It was perfect.
I mean, incredible. The songs are so good, but you realize when you see them, amazing musicians, but not the world's greatest musicians ever. The songs are so simple, but the power of a great song, just the whole state, it was 80,000 people 2 nights in a row. Yeah. And in London, I don't know if you saw the videos, but people were just slammed out their faces and going nuts. I don't think the audience was the same here, but it was still an incredible show. So
I definitely had a lot of grown men that I did not know grabbing me by the shoulders and
which is always
embracing me,
weird.
Which was,
right.
I was kind of all right, cool,
I'm
let's
here
go.
for it. Yeah.
Well, it seems like such a universal thing of oh my God, this is a band all of us in this room literally thought we would never get to see ever. How many people are in a stadium?
Was it 80,000?
80,000, yeah. 80,000 people all at the same time
Yeah.
are this is something we never thought was going to happen. So that's a very, emotional thing when you think about it.
And then just today they announced Radiohead dates, and we were just talking about that. So
Oh, did they?
They did, yeah. What do you think about all these bands that are coming back that haven't played in 10 years?
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, nostalgia is super happening right now. I feel like the Gen Zers are what is this band Oasis? These guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we were chatting that someone had asked you this question, your greatest concert of all time. I've seen every band ever.
Yeah, I just blanked. That was just one of those in the moment things where I'm my brain's not working right now. What's going on? I've seen everything already.
But you had one of those great moments. We did a festival with Third Eye Blind, and
Yeah,
you had
yeah.
one of those moments of, I never thought this was going to happen. And you were I've never seen you so locked into a show
Crying.
before.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
How's it going to be? You were crying or something?
Yeah.
Oh,
They closed with that.
Oh, they
yeah.
did.
Woo!
And we were side stage too, so it was that was special
Insane.
for sure. System of a Down
Yeah.
as bucket
We're
list.
also playing now too.
Speaking
Yeah,
of,
they're doing the stadium that I saw Oasis at 2 days later.
really,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like if you
Stadium,
go away, it's
crazy.
almost good for your career. It's go away so people miss you for 10 years.
Yeah.
And then come back and it's wow, we're so
stadiums.
happy you're here, But take me back to the beginning. You met on Craigslist, which is always a weird place because you find serial killers on there and old mattresses and
Yes.
things you don't really want.
I always mention the Craigslist killer, and no one knows what I'm talking about.
I know, because
so
it's a famous story. But.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for reading the news.
But that's not a thing anymore, or is it? I don't know. Is Craigslist a thing anymore? Are people?
I'm not sure. I've checked on Craigslist since we met, so it's been 10 years ago.
Sometimes I peruse.
So it's still a thing.
It is. It is.
Well, what are
yeah.
you looking for on there? Anything in particular? or
Oh,
just,
I don't know, guitars,
okay.
deals,
All right, so it's still-
stuff like that.
I feel like if you're selling something on Craigslist, you're really desperate to get it off
Yeah.
your hands.
Yeah, they
Sure.
are. That's all. I lowball them.
How about $5?
I always love these stories of what did the ad say when you meet on Craigslist?
I don't
I didn't post the ad,
Yeah.
and Dan didn't post the ad. Some other kid was looking to front a band. So I answered to be a drummer. Dan answered to play lead guitar. And then this kid wanted to host the first practice at Dan's apartment. Dan's 2-bedroom apartment. And the vibes were like really fucking weird.
It was,
and he wasn't a serial killer.
He wasn't a serial killer, no. We did a really bad cover of Boys of Summer.
Yeah, that's right.
And
the Don Henley song.
Yeah.
How bizarre.
It was
in an apartment.
Literally sitting on the ground, like crisscross applesauce on the living room floor. I'm like, what are we doing, guys?
Like,
why
like
was this the
we
idea?
need to form our own band.
Yeah. I mean, we hit it off immediately because we were like, okay, we like actually seriously want to do this. And I was writing and playing, my own stuff on the side. And so when I met Dan, I was like, oh, this could be actually like a really cool, because we had like the same influences. I think we connected on like Blink-182. So I was like, this could actually be like a really cool dynamic. And then, we just like hit it hard. I mean, we were playing honky tonks, bars, any place that would have us. And like, we weren't shaping ourselves to fit into the honky tonk. So we would be on these all country bills, and then we would get up and play our punk rock set. And I think people were like a little like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, talking about that, because you are from Nashville, which is not the home of punk rock, obviously.
No.
And I was just talking about, I've been there a couple times, and once you go to Third Man Records and you go to that street where all the honky tonk bands are playing, it's like, I don't know what else to do there because I don't have a lot of friends there. But when you were playing those venues where people are like, we'll pay you to leave. Like, please, like, just don't play punk here. Like, what was the general vibe?
Yeah, it's funny. There's this guy who booked us on this one showcase a lot, Big Vinny. I don't know what he's up to now, but shout out Big Vinny. And he like knew the deal. He knew the type of music we played. And I feel like every single show there was at least one person who would come up to us afterwards and be like, oh, I grew up on this type of music. I like wasn't expecting this tonight, but I'm really glad I got a little bit of that. And like, fan for life, like follower for life.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, it was so fucking uncomfortable every single time. We're like, howdy, everyone. But yeah, I do think there's like such a strong sense of like with Third Man Records and Jack White, I do think where there is alternative music, alternative to country music, so not just rock music, but hip hop and pop, there are these like little pockets of like a stronger scene, which is really cool.
So is there like a punk scene in Nashville, would you say?
I would say more of like a nostalgic emo scene.
Well, there's like an emo scene, and then there's like a band called Snooper. I don't know if you've heard of Snooper, but
they're on Third Man Records.
They're on Third Man Records. And how would you describe them? It's like kind of punk.
Yeah, they're like very underground, like a retro punk.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And they've done like a great job of showcasing the scene and expanding out of it. And it's really cool to be associated with bands like them. And then there was Diarrhea Planet, which are like a historic punk band in Nashville. But yeah, I would say not much of like a punk scene. Nashville definitely feeds on that like nostalgic emo pop punk. Ness of it.
But coming from being a drummer, Claire, were you just like excited to meet people that were into the same music and not into like Waylon Jennings and whatever it is?
Totally,
just like,
yeah. I mean, I grew up in the Boston scene and in the New England area, so to be able to go to Nashville and every time I would like meet someone who wanted to do rock music, because I was a rock drummer, wasn't a country drummer, wasn't a smooth jazz drummer. I was like Dave Grohl, hit as hard as fucking possible drummer. So when I did get to meet those people, and even today when I meet people who are interested in that music, it kind of like I get excited. Like I get excited if I get to play on someone's project. Or
are you still playing a lot?
Yeah, as much as possible. Yeah, for sure.
So what were y'all listening to early on? What was the thing that got you into music and the music bug early on?
I think I was always a metal guy. So when I was learning guitar, it was like, how many Iron Maiden riffs can I learn this week? Or, Megadeth or Anthrax, things like that. So that was kind of my thing. And then, too, and I think that kind of comes to my playing in this band too. Some of the other like 80s, like Van Halen or Rat or Warrant or things like that, kind of more dive bomby finger tapping things that I try and weasel into as many of our songs as I possibly can. But those are the things that, especially when I was learning guitar, that was all I was listening to.
I was in a band with the singer of LA Guns, so you're preaching to the choir here.
Wow.
So like,
cool.
But you can tell when you see you live, those influences really feed in. You're doing this pop punk music, but you can hear the metal influences, which is so cool.
Yes.
So you can hear the Iron Maiden seep in a little bit, which makes the sound incredibly unique, I think. You can really hear a lot of those metal influences, and like a lot of those bands like pay tribute to those the metal bands, but you can't really hear their influences in the music. But talk to me about, again, being in Nashville and coming up in Nashville, again, playing music that people don't necessarily take to right away, because it's got to be weird, like we spoke about initially, when you're playing these bars that aren't necessarily like, even the venue tonight we're doing something tonight, which I'm excited about, and it's not necessarily a punk rock or even a rock venue, but the cool thing has been at Silver Lion to take rock bands and do something different. And it's always cool to mix it up, take venues that aren't like smelly like punk clubs and even upscaling, and like the way this is tonight, and just literally like I was talking about, Beauty School Dropout, threw the bass drum across the room and broke it. This is not a venue that you normally do that at, but it was cool, and it's kind of it's a different vibe. But again, what was it like growing up in a city like Nashville and just doing what you're all doing?
Weird. But I think it made us like, everyone's like, and this is, other people say this, I'm not saying this, but everyone out there is like, oh my God, the Winona Fighter live show. Oh, you have to see Winona Fighter live. Man, like Winona Fighter fucks live.
But it is true though.
And I think playing in those weird settings, in those non-punk club settings, where we had to sit in the discomfort, really made us such a strong band, because the atmosphere and the audience were hard to kind of cut through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get some thick skin after some of those shows.
Did you ever play a country cover? Was that ever considered, just to like fit in there? So like,
No,
never.
Austin's anti-country.
I'm
just not. It's not my thing.
Yeah, and it's weird living in Nashville being almost
weird.
Anti-country. Right?
Yeah. Well, I'm from Minnesota originally. I'm from the north, so being in the south, it doesn't compute for me.
Right, yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
We had our first country artist on the other day, Jordan Davis. I never really got into country too, but I think lyrically, I feel like it's changing a lot now.
Yeah.
We have Lana Del Rey and a lot of artists that are getting into country and bringing that crossover, almost like alt country, which is cool.
Yeah.
I can get into that. And I always love like the Stones version of Dead Flowers.
Yeah.
But straight up, like I like Johnny Cash, but like straight up, the farm and the cow. I never could relate. I'm a city kid. I'm from New York.
Right.
So I was like, I don't really understand the lyrics here.
Right.
But talk to me about leading up to your debut EP and getting, just sort of being DIY and getting your first sort of record deal and doing yourself and leading up to Father Figure 2022.
Do you want to take Austin produces everything we do, and you're just so, I think it's funny. I grew up in a very DIY punk scene, and you're just a very DIY producer. I mean, no matter like what he does is very, well, I guess I'm just gonna like have to work with what I have.
Yeah. Right.
So,
because like the very first initial songs we put out were recorded in a room this size, and we had a drum kit in the room. And so I was like, okay,
drum kit in the room.
In
so
the
basically,
room.
it was like,
so I was sitting
it's like a bathroom, basically.
Basically, yeah. It was like very small third bedroom.
Yeah.
And so I had like my desk with speakers set up on one side of the room and then the drum set on the other side of the room. And I was like, how are we going to record this so it actually sounds good, but also record live drums? You know what I mean? And so I figured out that if you didn't record the cymbals at the same time, then you could add those later, and you wouldn't just have all the cymbals bleeding into all the mics. You know what I mean? Because it's such a small room, it just sound like you would just hear just cymbals. So we recorded the snare drum, toms, kick drum all separately from the cymbals. Well, Chloe did, which she did not really enjoy doing.
I didn't like that at all.
But then we got a great drum sound.
And it's like kind of, you have to do what you have to do. I think it's the same with like how we would like play shows and tour before we had an agent or anyone even like giving us the time of day. It was very much, okay, everyone, let's hop in the van and let's tour. And for touring for us was, let's go play bars.
Right.
Let's go play venues, quote, venues, where people are going to be there no matter what. And they like are forced to listen to us no matter what. And it was like a lot of that. And then, yeah, we had like really never released. We put stuff on like SoundCloud and Bandcamp and stuff, but had never really released much music out there. We just played shows. And then when we finally did release this DIY EP, Father Figure, it's still like beyond me how it happened, but it blew up within the industry. It's like all of a sudden we're having people like emailing me. Our agent, he works for WME, Justin Edwards. Love you, Justin. He emailed me, and I ignored the email for 2 weeks because I was like, "Oh, this is like spam. This is like
didn't really come to me."
Yeah, because it's just like we were told no for so long, and it's like we're like, what changed? Like all we did was like put our music out on streaming. But yeah, it was like very crazy. It was kind of that overnight, oh, well, we did spend 10 years playing shows and grinding. And now it's kind of, we met Justin, we met Michael, our agent, we met our attorney. Like it all started to happen so fast. And it was all people who were like, keep doing the DIY thing. We will support you 100% of the way. We're just here to like lift you up in the ways that you need to be lifted up.
I mean, there's some truth that like if you build it, they'll come. If it's good enough, people will find it. Were you inspired by like the power trios at all? Was that something that you're like, hey, I like Rush or I don't know, whatever bands that were like the trios at the time? Was that ever an inspiration, like power trios in a sense, or not really?
I mean, yeah, I think so. I think what's cool about trios is everyone can kind of step out a little bit more than if it's a bigger band where you have to like fit into like your lane. A trio, the bass player can step out, the lead guitar player, singer person can step out and really have their moment, and it's not shadowing anyone else's moment, So that's what I like about trios.
I think that it allows, especially in our dynamic for the bass, because Austin, I mean, is an unbelievable bass player. So it's
absolutely shred the bass.
Thanks, Dan. I know.
But it allows, I think, for those parts to kind of live on their own and be heard a little bit more, and for you to kind of experiment and have, I think, in like kind of like lead guitar voicings on some of your bass playing, which I think is really cool.
Thank you,
Chloe. What would you say the biggest misconception is being like a woman in punk rock today?
That's a really great question. I historically can't pronounce words in interviews.
I'm right there with you, so it's all good,
That is a great question. I think there's just like this big misconception that female fronted punk artists are like trying to like over sexualize themselves or trying to cause trouble where there's no trouble. And I think what it is like, no, I think for so long, female-fronted punk and rock bands and women in that position were so scared to, wear a skirt on stage or say like, fuck this thing that's going on. So I think it's just now like we're becoming more comfortable with being more vocal and wearing whatever the hell we want to wear, that people are like, oh, well, like everything's a problem now. And it's like, no, everything always has been a problem, but it's, you have these amazing front women like Missy from Mannequin Pussy and Amal and the Sniffers who are like, just kind of like fucking speaking up and wearing what they want to wear. And I think that's awesome.
I play with Courtney Love, so she's always spoken up.
She's always done that.
Yeah. But even, the essence of punk is almost to like lean into the anger for some artists, right? Do you feel like you have to lean into that side of yourself and emotionally like you're leaning to, because, punk has always been, there's always been some anger associated with punk. Maybe not now, but historically, Fear, a lot of the early bands, it was all anger. Like now maybe it's changed a little bit. But do you feel like you need to lean into that emotion for yourself?
I don't feel like pressured to. It's just like a natural thing. I feel like we're not offered many outlets to have angry emotions in everyday life. So it's like when I'm able to get in the studio or get on stage, it's such a like amazing outlet to express my personal anger and frustrations and the audience. Like they get to come to a show and just scream about everything. And I think that's so cool. But it's such a natural, I think, thing for me to be angry.
Yeah.
anger issues do run in my family. But then it allows me in everyday life to find the joy in it.
Yeah. But even tonight for a show that's sort of acoustic based, well, they'll be screaming, I assume.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's like I write all the words to our songs, and they're written because I feel them deeply in my fucking gut. So it's hard not to like yell and have that like aggression while singing them, because you do feel them so deeply, because it's like your own. It's like comes from my own noggin. So
definitely. Talk to me about the new record. I mean, it's like a deluxe version. My apologies to the chef. And tonight we're going to play some songs from it. So there's an acoustic part of the record too. And talk about the process of recording that record and also the deluxe records, which we'll be doing some of it tonight too.
Yeah, I mean, similar kind of recording strategy with the DIY stuff. Although this time we upgraded to a garage instead of a third bedroom, and so
garage is a little bigger.
It's a little bigger, yeah. It's pretty roomy. Yeah, but we still did Chloe's least favorite cymbals and stuff separate. But we used like different, not real drumsticks. We used like the whatever
plastics or
yeah. Just to be a little more delicate about things, and then just mic'd up some acoustic guitars, and then a few songs we just like we're like, what it'd be cool to like do a spin on it. What if we did something kind of more like campfire-y, I guess, you know what I mean? And I think it turned out really great. Some kind of cool creative like liberties we took on some stuff.
And how do you choose the covers? Like the Violent Femmes cover, I saw that the Violent Femmes like wrote about it. They were really psyched on it. The Beastie Boys cover, like how do you decide on which covers you should be doing?
I think it's like the same with when writing a song. It's like, I think we pick covers that really resonate with us and we feel very like attracted to. So, when we decided to do the acoustic version of the album, Austin was like, oh, let's do Blister in the Sun by the Violent Femmes. It was like an immediate reaction like that. And then,
because I don't know if anyone's covered that song before.
Yeah, and it's true to the original, but it's your own spin on it too.
Yeah,
which is what I think the Violent Femmes said about it too.
Yeah. And then I think like with Sabotage, it was just like, oh, we could really like do our own Winona Fighter take on this song, and it's just so cool. Like the turntable parts are now like guitar parts, and it was so cool because I love the Beastie Boys. I think they are punk rock through and through. So it was very cool to be able to incorporate that in the record as well.
No question. There's always been a bit of wordplay, even the name of the band. Have you met Winona at this point or not yet?
Not yet.
No.
But we're available.
Yeah. My phone line is open.
Because even some of your songs, like You Look Like a Drunk Phoebe Bridgers, like there's a lot of wordplay there.
Yeah.
So, and I love the stories behind some of the songs. So talking about some of the lyrics and kind of your inspiration and the wordplay there, because even again, the name of the band is kind of tongue-in-cheek, funny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
interesting story about how it came about.
I think we're a band. We take this career like very seriously. We are like, there's no plan B. This is all we want to do, but we don't take ourselves too seriously,
which is good.
Yeah. I mean, you can't.
You can't, especially in music these days.
No, I mean that's how you get like in the fucking rut and depressed, and it's when you're like, you're so artistic that you don't know what to do with it. And we are like the opposite. We are music nerds who, like, we just did a content day, and the whole time we were like, we're so fucking uncomfortable right now. Or when it comes to like music videos, we're like, we don't know. We don't have any plan. We just like want to play shows but yeah, so the music and the lyrics and what the songs are about, they come from like my everyday life and my like personal stories, but I like to make them accessible. So our song, like I'm in the Market to Please No One, is about my experience with domestic violence, but I didn't want it to be depressing. I didn't want it to feel heavy. So then you have this like upbeat punk rock song that is, I think, maybe all major chords. I don't know. I don't play it. I leave that to them.
Pretty much.
I'm a drummer too, so we don't have the chords.
But it's like this fun song.
There's a key change.
Yeah, there's a key change.
Idea key change.
That, it sounds like it should be happy, but it's kind of like a serious topic.
Yeah.
So I think that's how we approach our songwriting and the lyricism is taking these things that can be tough and doing the punk rock thing, which is making it accessible to everyone. Let everyone understand what it's about, but like give them an outlet to feel like they can listen to it and sing to it. And scream to it. Definitely.
And the economics of being in a band now are so tough. I mean, we had Hamilton in from the Walkman not long ago, and he was like, he got a check from ASCAP for like 2 cents once. Right. And then he tried to buy back his masters from Warner Brothers. He's like, I have a record label. They're like, you're not a record label. I'm like, I couldn't buy back my own record. Jeez. So, and they were selling it. It was like on the, I don't know, it was on the market or something. But talking about the economics of being in an indie band and DIY now and what it means, because it is hard. Like, you can't get into music now for just the love of music. I mean, or you can, but sorry, you can't get into music now for money. Right. I said that the wrong way, because if you get into it for money, you're in it for the wrong reason. So it has to be for the love of it, because ultimately, like, the money is what it is, right? If you're a huge pop star, but it's hard to make money in music now. And like my Hamilton story and the thing I said the wrong way, you know, it's really about, if you're not passionate about it, then don't get into it, because ultimately it is a really tough business these days.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, the beauty with us is we're like, you know, hopefully one day the money will come. Yeah. But for now, let's make sure we can, you know, pay a drummer to come on tour with us. Yeah. We just hired a tour manager, got to pay him. We were able to just buy a van. Great. We don't have to rent a van anymore. And then maybe at the end of it all, we can all walk away with like $1 in our pocket or something. But it's like we try. I think that's the great thing about being a DIY band, making these bigger strides, is we know how to do like a lot by ourselves. Yeah. Like, we have a video coming out later this week that we hired a friend to come videotape it, and Austin directed it and I edited it. And we know how to record ourselves, and it's so like money saving, you know? And that's not why we do it. We do it because we love to do it all ourselves, but we save a lot of fucking money by, you know, having that skill.
But you have to think like that, because ultimately it's so expensive these days, right? I mean, you have to kind of get in that mindset for sure.
And we, like, you know, we didn't sign to a label until we were like, okay, we're at the point where we need the help with the growth, and that's been great too. I mean, that's been great having their support, and if we like need a little tour support, which it took us over a year to ask for any of our tour support, because we were like, no, we'll do it. We got it. Yeah. But then we had to go to the UK, and we were like, we don't have any money. You know, I think that's also been so helpful, is not immediately going and signing with some random label and
just to get money. And it's a loan at the end of the day, right?
Exactly.
Right. But the band's been together for 10 years. Was there any low point where like, this is getting really, like, this, I can't pay my rent, whatever it is, like it really got tough? Or was a low point for the band when you said, I don't know if we're going to make it through this?
We've always like had side hustles. Yeah. And I think that's
what are the side hustles?
Yeah, I mean, I was probably the one that had like 9 to 5 jobs the most. So I did that until I got fired because I was gone too much.
Like anything weird? I always love these stories. Like I
did like promotion. I did promotions for like some country artists for a while, and then
you couldn't do that because you don't like country.
No. Well.
And then I worked at the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Interesting.
For a while,
giving tours or something.
No, in the marketing department.
Okay.
Interesting, but and so now I like just like teach lessons when I can, like when we're not on the road. And luckily that's like the best job for, hey, I'm going to be gone for like 5 months this year. Like, cool, man. See you when you get back.
Car's still going to be here when we come back.
Yeah. So,
and then I walk dogs.
Okay.
It's a good
job. I would do that job.
And then during COVID, I got my real estate license, and I sell like one house a year. And that actually really helps a lot.
That's all you need, the one house a year. If it's a big house, right?
But then I'll pick up like random little, like if Austin's producing someone who needs drums on their record, he calls me. Right. So that's great too.
Yeah, so I write and produce a bunch of different artists and bands in Nashville as well.
Never had a weird job?
I got pretty lucky. I mean, the weirdest thing, so when I dropped out of college, I played bass on a cruise ship for like 6 months.
like doing covers? What is that?
Yeah, it was like a 10-piece band. So it was like trumpet, trombone, saxophone, bass, guitar, drums, keys, right? And then there was the singer. And we played decade sets, so like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, modern stuff. We did a jazz set. So we played like 3 or 4 hours a day. This was when I was like 19. And the cruise ship went out of Sydney. Sydney was the home port. It's in Australia. And so we just went like east to like the South Pacific. But I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, this is crazy. Like everyone was like at least 10 years older than me on the that I was playing with, and they would all close the bar down every single night, like 3 a.m., close the bar down because you could get a beer for like $1.25 or something, because we had a discount.
Hell yeah.
And I was like,
but you got to play music, which is great.
Oh yeah. So I was like keeping my chops up and stuff. And then I ended up like kind of playing for another band that led me to LA. Where I was in LA for a few years, and I was a hired gun bass player out there. That's where I met Chloe.
Because the hired gun thing is tough sometimes because people don't always see you as like a band member if you're the hired guy.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. There's definitely a line there. But yeah, I just kind of walked into some, like, I was in LA for like a week and I met Sabrina Carpenter's musical director. And he called me like a few days later. He was like, "Hey man, could you fly to New York and do Kelly and Michael, that morning show that used to be on?"
I think so.
Michael Strahan.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, I can do that." And then I just, for the next like 2.5 years, I just was her bass player. Yeah.
Do you keep in touch with her? What's she like?
Oh, she was great. I haven't talked to her recently, but really, really nice. Her whole family was really nice. Like I had Thanksgiving like at her house a couple times.
Any thoughts on the new album cover? It's so controversial.
It is a little controversial.
I don't think it's that controversial, but I think people
I don't know. I think
is.
she's just doing her, her thing. And I think that's great, and it's working.
Reminds me of that Spinal Tap album cover. I don't know if
Yes.
you remember. So like, I don't know, but people made it such a thing.
It was funny, like when Austin joined the band, he like had all this, touring experience around the world. And I was like, well, have you ever been on, in a van tour? And he was like, no.
I had never done a van tour.
Sabrina Carpenter, the van tour.
Yeah.
And Dan and I are so like, when we got our first like actual green room, we were like, oh my God, like there's a fruit bowl in here.
I'm still pumped up. If there's like a free beer in the green room, I'm like, are you kidding?
Do you have a rider? Is there a rider involved? Or not
But
really?
I think Austin saw how excited we were.
Oh, I
and
was
that
excited
made
too.
you excited.
Yeah. There was a 6-pack in the fridge. Amazing. Because I feel like as a hired gun, it's like, oh, what is it rider for me? Or like, what's going on here? So.
Well, the deluxe version of the record comes out tomorrow, I think, right? September 5th. By the time you hear this, the record will be out already. What can fans expect from the record?
Every single song on the debut record acoustically.
Amazing.
And then our version of Blister in the Sun, which is already out. And a live studio version of Sabotage, which was actually really great to do. It was the first time we ever recorded something all together where I was on drums.
Yeah.
Like I play drums on all of our records, but like us jamming together.
Yeah, right.
And then our song we released in July called Don't Get Close.
Amazing.
So it's 32 tracks.
Amazing.
Bang for
32
your buck.
tracks. You're definitely getting your value out of it. You guys are playing some festivals coming up.
We
What do
love
you prefer?
festivals. Yeah, I think we're a festival band.
It was funny. We played Minnesota Yacht Club a couple weeks ago, and Green Day was headlining, and they have a catwalk on their stage, and we got main stage this year, and as soon as one song in, I'm strutting down that thing. I've never been down a catwalk before.
Yeah, full Mick Jagger down that thing.
But we don't play with in-ears
Yeah.
because we don't have clicks or track. It's like what you see on stage is all you're hearing out in the audience. So I'm walking down the catwalk and I was like, oh no, I can't hear anything.
There's no monitors out here.
And everything was like delayed too.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Yeah, it didn't stop me though. I lived on that thing.
We
during that
all
set.
went out there.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I was trying to hide a little bit, and Chloe's like, "Get the hell out of here."
But yeah, festivals are. I think we do really well because we have everything from, I think, young girls to like old school punkers who love our music. So we can really, I think, capture like that mainstream kind of variety audience that go to festivals.
It's funny because I never play with in-ears, and one time with Courtney Love, we jammed. We would never get up and jam anywhere, but we were like, let's play this one place. So we got up, and I didn't know the drummer had an in-ear, so we start playing like Celebrity Skin, and starts with the guitar riff. I'm like, I don't hear any music, and then I start like the band kicks in, they're looking back at me. I'm like, I don't, and then
Have you started?
And then I was like, oh shit, like I couldn't hear anything, so we had to stop playing. But yeah, I'm the same way. I never use them. So do you ever see a time when you would maybe do that to like add another guitar part or a keyboard part, or is the band like there'll never be tracks involved with this band?
Never tracks,
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah. I think the only thing is if we have like a light show that needs to be programmed to the music or something.
Yeah.
We'll just get a guy.
We'll just get a person.
We'll get a
that.
guy.
Yeah.
I was thinking about University, like the best unplugged album of all time. For me, it's always been probably the Alice in Chains record and the
yeah.
Nirvana record.
Yeah.
But because you just are releasing this record, in your heads you have like, this is the best acoustic record. In your opinion, what is that to you?
That Foo Fighters one.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
good. Skin and Bones.
Skin and Bones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
was
great
really
record,
good.
too.
Yeah.
Underrated. I don't think a lot of people talk about it.
Yeah.
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 I remember I went to, I saw Foo Fighters live, and they did half the set, and I was sitting like pretty far back, and then all of a sudden, like in front of me, a little stage came out of the ceiling with like all acoustic stuff, and they came out and they did like 30 minutes acoustically.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty insane. Like that's something that really resonated with me going into this record. But Nirvana's MTV Unplugged
Epic.
is
One of the
my
greatest
all-time favorite. I mean, it's probably one of my favorite records, period.
Yeah. What can we expect tonight at Silver Linings at the concert series? Of course, acoustic, but is it a mix? Are we going to hear some covers? We can hear the record. Any surprises? I mean, at this point, this episode will be out, but like, I need to know what we're doing for tonight either way. So,
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll figure it out.
when you get there, you'll figure it out. So
Yes.
I mean, is there a set list with the band? Are you calling on songs on stage, or is it pretty impromptu?
I feel like we usually, I am in my little mind like to have things written down and have set lists out, but I think maybe for this one, I don't know, maybe
No
just
set
call
list.
them. Whenever
Okay.
we've
Yeah.
done little
I think
acoustic stuff at radio stations or things like that, it's like, all right, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I
Just
throw the
gonna
curveball. I'm like, anyone have any requests?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We did that one time, and we prepared like 4 songs, and the 4 songs that everybody requested were not any of the 4 we prepared.
Yeah.
All right, let's give it a go.
We've never done this acoustically, but we'll try it.
We'll probably have a little Q&A, and maybe we'll take an audience
Yeah.
question. So
Yeah,
it's awesome.
sounds
At the end
great.
of the show, it was his top 5 fun questions. So wanted to ask Winona Fighter your top 5 artists or bands that are here to save rock and roll, starting with number 5.
In order.
Oh yeah, in order. Damn.
Well, it could be no particular order, but you know,
Okay.
or we could do it in order, whatever you prefer.
I'm going to say, and they've been around a while, but I think with their most recent record, a lot of bands from their time are going full nostalgia, and they went like really cool grunge rock. I'm going to say Pierce the Veil.
Oh, nice.
Cool band. They were on the show not long ago.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Idols.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're killer.
The Beths, big fan of them. They just put a new record out last week. Really awesome female-fronted band from
Yeah.
New Zealand. They rock.
And what do you like about the Bass Idols? Like, what is it about those bands that are, they're here to save rock and roll?
Idols just has, I think, a cool like take on just being a guitar player. They do a lot of just like noisy things. You know what I mean? Instead of just like their guitar parts are just like, I'm just gonna play one note and just bend it like, and that's like the groove.
And it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I like his vocal delivery too.
Yeah.
It's just like very punchy and in your face. And I think they're very creative too. Like they worked with the Radiohead producer on the last
Nigel.
record,
Yeah.
Nigel. Yeah.
Definitely.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Number 2 for you. The artist or band here to save rock and roll, according to Winona Fighter.
I have a number 1 I think we'd all agree on.
What about number 2?
Yeah.
And I have a number 2.
Okay, well then go ahead.
I don't know if we'll all agree on number 2, but number 1 we definitely will.
All right, let it rip.
Number 2, I'm going to go Mannequin Pussy.
Weirdly enough, I just had that as a reference, but you know what? Here you go.
Oh yeah.
They I'd been listening to them for a while, and then I saw them open for Movements, and I was like completely. I think a band can sound amazing on a record, but for a band to have such like a fucking killer live show that just like blows you away in a time where there's so much music coming out and there's so many bands out there, I was like floored. I was like, I am now obsessed with this band.
And she's a star for sure.
Oh my God, such a powerhouse.
Definitely.
And like I think it's very common for like punk front people to talk out of their ass sometimes, and she's like so clear in everything she's saying and everything she stands for, and I think we need a lot more of that.
Definitely, I agree. And number 1, the artist or band here to save rock and roll.
I was gonna say Turnstile.
Yeah,
Sounds great.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
And why? Just because they're defying genres, they're the hottest artists. I mean, just what makes them to you like the one band that
They're so hot right now.
They're so hot.
for sure. Yeah.
But
Like
they
physically
are,
or like just,
I mean, all the way around.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know how they're doing it. I mean, they're just doing themselves, but it's just they're just like really stepping out and like doing a lot of mainstream things that like hardcore punk band.
And you never really saw hardcore kind of in the mainstream, which is what I love about it, because it's opening up a whole nother category of music to people that a lot of people love, but like now it's kind of mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I also like, my fiance, not a huge like hardcore fan, but she got really entrapped by the visuals of this newest record.
Yeah.
And then started getting into the record. And it's like, well, that's great. And so, it's things like that can help get people further back and, what bands inspired Turnstile and what bands inspired those bands. So can start, just kind of feeding off of that. And
I think like for a band like them to even remotely break through the mainstream, and while still doing exactly like what they want to do, I mean, that's gonna save rock and roll for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
There are a couple of like Gojira's another like hardcore like metal band that played at the Olympics.
That's right.
Knocked Loose.
Oh, I
like
love
another like
Knocked
hardcore
Loose.
band that's like played Fallon and stuff like that.
Yeah, Spirit
another band.
Box.
Yeah.
Spirit Box, yeah.
But again, Knock Loose kind of breaking into the mainstream. You would never have
Yeah.
seen like hardcore and Fallon before.
I know.
And you're like, what?
Yeah.
I think the audience was like, is this the right show?
Yeah.
I thought it was someone else playing tonight.
Right.
On that matter, top 5 punk bands destined to make it big, according to Winona Fighter.
Ooh.
Starting with number 5 again.
I'm gonna start with.
Winona Fighter.
You can always put yourself on the
number
list.
5.
Oh, you can, because this is your list. So if you want to put yourself on the list, we'll.
Yeah, we'll be modest. We'll put ourselves at number 5. Winona Fighter, number 5. I just really like how they are
They're really great.
they're also so hot.
Yeah,
too.
they're so hot. They're so
And they're
hot
playing
right now.
tonight.
Yeah.
raw, real, a little sweaty. I like it.
Power trio.
Yeah.
Power trio.
There's a band called Homefront from Canada that's kind of like older, like 80s punk plus also like new wave, which is kind of a cool combo that I think they've maybe got a new record that they're working on right now, but I think that'll be the thing that bumps them up, but they're awesome.
Awesome. Number 3. You've seen every band in the world ever.
Yeah.
So
True.
you should, because
There's
not a band you haven't seen.
There's a band. I don't know if they would. I would say they have like definitely a punk thing, but there's a band called High Viz. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're actually. I mean, they're bigger than us, but I really like their. It's almost like how you described Homefront. It has like some of their guitar stuff is like pretty dirty in your face. His vocal delivery is like really yelly and punchy, but then they have this like new wave kind of guitar, like the almost the like kind of clean edge thing happening too. Yeah, check out High Viz.
Awesome. Number 2.
I'm gonna say Scowl.
Oh yeah, Scowl.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
This record was, I think, a little more punk than hardcore, and I mean they're doing the same thing. I think they just did. What's the other show? The
Kelly
one that
Clarkson or something.
just got canceled.
Colbert.
Colbert.
Right,
I think
right,
they
yeah.
just did, which R.I.P. That's my favorite one.
Hey.
And I just couldn't even think of it. I think they're destined to just kind of blow. And to me, these bands are all like huge already to me. I mean, besides Winona Fighter, I don't even fucking know who they are. But
And the number 1 punk band destined to break big this year, next year.
You got one?
yeah, I'm gonna say Hot Mulligan.
Yeah.
Oh
good
yeah,
band.
yeah.
A lot of people are buzzing about that band.
Great
Definitely.
guys.
What is it
Yeah.
about Hot Mulligan?
Again, I think it's just one of those things where they're doing exactly what they want to do, and they are just just kind of creating such a mass following while doing that. And they're being played on alternative radio. And they're just like, their live show is so insane. And you see them at a festival and the crowd just goes absolutely bonkers for them. And they're just like very, very nice guys. And I think that takes you a long way too.
Definitely.
Wholesome Midwesterners.
Yeah.
And great record too.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, the record's just out. I'm excited for tonight. My last question to you, the best band ever from the 2000s. Ooh. If you had to come up with an ultimate answer.
All of us at the same time.
Oh God, I don't.
We can do 1, 2,
From
3.
the 2000s.
From the 2000s.
I'm a big Queens of the Stone Age fan.
Great answer.
Yeah. Songs from the Deaf is like one of my favorite records.
Great answer.
I think that was 2001, right?
You know, I don't know exactly when that record came out, but it sounds about then.
We'll say it's 2001.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to say Fall Out Boy.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pete Wentz. Yeah. Still sounds great, you know, and they were playing stadiums recently, which my hat's off to them because who would have thought like 20 years later they'd be playing stadiums? I wouldn't have thought that, I'll be honest.
I would normally say like Foo Fighters, but 1997, I think is when their first record came out. But yeah, we saw Fall Out Boy at Riot Fest last year. And it was after each song, you were like, they can't play any more hits. Like that's all it is. And then it was like, oh, holy shit.
Yeah. No, they got at least 10 songs that everyone knows for sure.
Yeah. The pyro. Too, was
the
crazy.
pyro out of the base.
Did they have a lot of pyro? I wouldn't peg them as like
the most pyro I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah. Well, P. Wentz has the flamethrower
that's
base.
true,
And he's just standing there like,
safety first.
Yeah. You don't think like Fall Out Boy and pyro. I don't know why.
Right?
I just don't put the two of
we
those
could
in
feel
the
it.
same
We were
sentence.
like way back, and I could feel the heat coming off those puppies.
I got to get to Fall Out Boy show.
Yeah, dude.
And the number one band from the 2000s.
I'm gonna go just maybe because they've been on my mind recently, but Kings of Leon.
Huge
fan of those
nice.
First couple
like,
records are so
records.
good.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I was thinking about that literally the other day. Like the first 2 or 3 records, amazing. Then they took a different turn.
Yeah.
But, you know.
what is it? Only by Night? Is that the name of the record?
Yeah, I think that maybe that's the 4th one.
Yeah.
Because of the times. That's my favorite
Oh,
one.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
The first record to me was incredible and it still sounds great. I just revisited it.
Yeah.
Well, the new record's just out. We're excited to have you play tonight and
Excited to be
more
there.
to come because there'll be a Q&A tonight too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
Awesome. Thanks for coming all. Yeah,
Thank you.
Appreciate it.